equation. X cubed minus x squared equals 900. Someone will now say an oral solution and will be right, because the solution in whole numbers is immediately visible. But these will not be all the solutions. It is necessary to prove how many solutions there are, and consider them all. Therefore, if it were said that in whole numbers, then everything is very simple here. Let us look at this option with you. We will take out x squared and in brackets there will be x1 and equal to 900. But let's write 900 as 9 and by 10 and by 10 by 3 numbers. And we have 3 numbers, 2 of the same, which we also observe on the right side of 10, and x1 9. Everything converges in whole numbers perfectly. X equals 10, but we will not write down this solution, that this is a solution. This is again under the condition that we did not have this in whole numbers. Therefore, we will now act in a completely different way. That is, to act according to some rules. So, like this. X cubed minus x squared, and we write such numbers, 1.000 to 100. We have the right, we have. Next, we transfer these whole numbers to the left side. We write minutes cubed. And x squared plus 100, this will be equal to 0 for us. Well, in general, we combine two brackets and get x cubed minus 1000 and minus here we do x to 100 also equals 0. Next, let's write out the numbers as powers. Minus 10 to the power of 3. This will be our first bracket. And minus the second bracket will be x to 10 to the power of 2 also equals 0. So, well, we see the difference of the cubes of the first bracket, and we write it out. x10 multiplied by x squared is an incomplete square of the sum. Plus 10x and plus 100. And minus the product of the difference of the squares for us will be equal to the sum of the numbers multiplied by their difference. We don't write the rules, everyone knows them by heart, but I emphasize that you wrote out this equality as a square. So, next, we have a common bracket. The common factor is x10. We rewrite what is left of the first. We write in minus. What number are we minus? X and minus 10. These two numbers are all equal to 0. So, let's move on. We still have x10 in reserve. And then we have a square expression. So, 10x and x plus 9x and plus 90 is equal to 0. So, we got two expressions, two products, two brackets, from each of which we equate to 0. We equate. We make the first solution, which we got and we found it above. x10 equals 0, 10 equals 0, Where does x perv equals 10 come from? Excellent. We will look for the second. The second and third, because we have the third power x squared plus 9x plus 9o equals 0. We solve the quadratic equation. Everything is written correctly. So, minus the plus minus the square root of 9 to the power of 2 minus 4 multiply by 1 and multiply by 90. I divide this by 2 multiply by 1 dm. What formula did I use? This one. I'll write it down now. x2 t equals, therefore, x equals b plus b squared minus 4ac. Here the square root d is 2a. I used all the coefficients of the quadratic equation. We'll write them out now. b for us is equal to db equals 9, so that we are consistent. A is 1, and c equals 90. So we use these formulas and these coefficients. And what did we get with x? Let's go further. X and t will be equal to minus 9 plus or minus the square root. So, 81 to 360. So and divided by 2. Let's write it out. So, equals minus 9 plus or minus the square root. Let's calculate. 81 is 9 at the end. So, that means, 358,279. And by 2 equals minus 9 plus or minus the square root. Sorry, I missed the minus. So, minus we write out the minus and divide by 9 and we get 31. That will be 279 halves. So, great. Well, let's write out these roots in full. So, x2 third equals minus 9 plus or minus the square root of d multiplied by minus 31 root. So, divided by 2. And we write out the completely obtained solution of the second and third roots. X in the second root equals minus 9 plus or minus the third root of 31 on the name of 1. Here on the 2. So, and now we need to write out the parade of all the solutions. That is, 3 solutions. xp equals 10. x2 equals minus 9 plus root plus 3 square root 31 Namani and by 2. Let's write x cubed next to x cubed equals minus 9p minus root is not a root, but 3 root 3 and 31 and so on in green by 2. All these are roots, 3 roots, because we had an equation x cubed, and the real number was 10, which was immediately solved and viewed.
Все это корни, 3 корня, потому что у нас уравнение было x кубе. И реальное получилось число 10, которое бралось и просматривалось.
And now we just need to go back to the beginning. Here, and x is equal to 10. We immediately see that this is the solution. We can substitute it. This is 10,000, 1,000 miles 100, this is 900. That's it, we have solved the equations. We will not check those values. There were no contradictions in these solutions, so we leave it. That's it, thanks for viewing. All the best. Goodbye.